Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the origami master himself. It's Mikey G. Wolf V3. Hello, Mikey.
Samurai Sente Mikey Jur.
I just meant the art of folding paper rather than, folding machines into animals and then folding them into giant robots.
Yeah, but it's all I got.
That's fine.
All I got.
I'm sure there have been villains in like, wasn't there a villain in Teen Titans that did origami? Yeah, the movie. The movie had that.
I don't remember the movie well enough.
Yeah, the Teen Titan movie's not great. It's fine.
Robin got laid.
What, in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He was at the prelude to getting laid.
Okay. Oh, yeah. He's always at the forefront of getting that, though. From what I remember from the show.
We can assume that based on that movie, he did eventually get laid.
Probably. Well, I mean, if we look at the comics, he certainly did get laid.
Well, if we look at the comics, people are obsessed with his ass. Men and
I was gonna follow that up by let's not talk about the Teen Titans comics.
Let's talk about Nightwing's butt.
I just meant the rampant sex in Teen Titans.
All I know is that apparently Dan Jurgens is writing the Nightwing book at the moment, and he is slowly starting to undermine the whole Rick Grayson thing. He's like digging a shovel under it and just sort of letting the hole fill in after it.
What do you mean? I
don't
know.
Rick Grayson?
No. I know Dick Grayson.
So
Who's Rick?
No, so apparently, Dan Didio, you know that guy?
I've heard that he makes mistakes every now and again.
He hates basically the character of Nightwing, or at least hates a lot about him. And
Why?
particularly hates his name.
Why? What, Nightwing or Dick?
He was a legacy character and doesn't like... Well, Dick. He doesn't like the fact his name is Dick Grayson.
Is it because Dick's a penis, Mikey?
Don't know, but he says he's not edgy enough, or he said he wasn't edgy enough.
He's not edgy enough.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, he got shot in the head or something like that. Lost all his memories, became a grungy taxi driver who took the name Rick Grayson.
Oh man. To be fair though, getting shot in the head and becoming a cab driver, there are worse fates. Usually, death is a worse fate.
Yes,
maybe.
And apparently, he would go on to apparently star in some incredibly bad books.
Was he still a superhero, or was he just a cabbie?
I think for half of it he was a cabbie, and then he became Nightwing, leader of the Nightwings.
Okay.
He doesn't remember being Nightwing, but he apparently felt the need to be Nightwing.
Okay.
At least they kept him in the blue suit, from what I understand. But then, basically, since Dan Jurgens took over, by the sound of things, it just slowly starting to go like, and his memory is very slowly starting to come back. Rick is going away.
Huh.
And please stop letting Dan Didio
do things.
Yeah,
do things, yeah. I feel that whenever you talk about Dan Dio, however you say his silly name, it's never in a positive light, Mikey. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I would also say a lot of people talk about him not in a positive light.
He used to be a positive figure, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's also the one who said that, hey, you're writing Beast Machines, yeah? Don't watch Beast Wars. What?
That's right, yeah.
Don't have continuity.
Yeah.
We don't need it, we don't want it.
I'm sure that he used to be well respected, though, at one point. Though, granted, I have no idea how long ago that may or may not have been.
I feel that was a long time ago.
I'll take your word for it.
Far, far away.
Yes. Well, Mikey, we're here to talk about Transformers this week, as we tend to do. There's not much this week, sir.
Not much news.
No, we are at the bottom of the barrel, gathering up as many little limpets as possible. Do they have limpets in other countries? Or is that just a...
I don't think it's a uniquely English thing.
I don't know. Limpet.
By God, I claim the limpet from my country and from my people.
Do you think limpets have wars, like regional wars?
I mean,
Oceanic limpet wars.
They'd be more like long distance, like arsenal-based wars, wouldn't they? Because they don't travel.
Mm-hmm. Well, not that we know of.
Unless it's just them hanging onto whales.
That's it. Yeah, well, that's what you call your bomber. The limpet wars are a dense and interesting field, Mikey. You need to research
a bunch of whales
more.
ramming into each other.
Mind controlled by limpets. Don't say it couldn't happen. You've seen Finding Nemo. Strange shit happens in the sea.
Yeah.
But Transformers, Mikey, I'm going to kick us off with these 2 bits of third-party news, because why not? We have the 115th Utopia release, or the 115 Utopia. So I don't know if... I'm assuming 115 is just the number for this. Or maybe it's not, because it's also the YYW-04B upgrade kit for the Studio Series SS-44 Jetwing Optimus Prime. There are a lot of numbers and a lot of just letters and dashes in that title. But yeah, this is an upgrade set for the SS4 Studio Series 44 Jetwing Optimus Prime. What comes in the kit? Well, you get 2 big guns which are in fact big. 2 spiked knuckles for your knuckles to get all spiky, and 2 smokestack extensions for those who feel a little bit impotent around the other trucks. Get yourself nice and extended. Mikey, tell me how you feel about your extended barrels, your big guns, and your spiky knuckles.
I feel like they should have a picture of it without the extensions on.
Do they not?
Oh, they do.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
The smokestacks are indeed limp.
They are.
The original, they're not really smokestacks. They're
Nubbins.
An embarrassment.
Yeah.
But I think for what this is, it's neat. I think it's adding the movie accurate guns was a neat touch, and it does complete the look of the Jetwing, where he was basically a pair of guns on wings.
Did you say guns on wings or guns and wings?
On wings.
Okay.
Also, I think the sculpt for the gun is really nice.
Yeah.
The paintwork is decent, but not crazy. The knuckles, I could take or leave, but again, it's a nice touch because, hey, remember that scene where he disemboweled a guy?
No, because he did that so much, it's really hard to pick out. And I'm not even joking there. Which part are you talking about?
It's where he punches Shockwave guts out.
No, I actually don't remember that.
Out.
Did he have knuckles then?
What he did, there's this scene where his fist is coming up into the camera. These gigantic spiked knuckles comes up. He punches Shockwave in the chest. Shockwave's chest explodes, and then he rips off. He starts ripping Shockwave's head apart, and then shoots. I think he shoots Sentinel with Shockwave's gun. Shockwave, deep character that he was.
I think I remember Prime shooting Shockwave with a gun, but I'll be honest, a lot of Dark of the Moon is a blur because it's.
I remember the murder bits. I have committed them to memory.
Yes, you do have the Chronicles of Prime in your and Evangelus's heads.
Murder Prime. It's the best kind of Prime.
I honestly can remember that he got knuckle dusters and knuckle claws. That's so bizarre.
Thinking on it, do I remember every... Okay, so...
Oh, no, we're not going to run through them all.
Yeah, we are. Woohoo! But yes, these will make your Optimus Prime more murdery.
Yeah, certainly. For better or worse, I suppose. One thing I'm not a big fan of on these particularly, it's not... It's how well they merge with the figure. Because the painting on these are nicer than they are on the figure, I feel that the gunmetal grey kind of realistic paint job they've given these guns doesn't match too well with the toy's very stark plastic toy look or color look, especially against his grey. Some of the grey parts on this Prime obviously have been colored. But a lot of it just seems to be, at least from these images, just seems to be very dark grey plastic. So it stands out a bit to me, at least. It's fine though. It's fine. More guns for your Prime. It's very appropriate. So what can you do? As usual, when we're talking about kits like this, we don't seem to have information on when it's coming out or how much it's going to be. So if you're interested in it, keep your eyes peeled for them pre-orders coming up. Also, the Irontans, who I think have previously, yes, the IRV-01 Starblade, which was their previous release, was a Star Saber that I'm sure we probably talked about. They're showing the IRV-02, which is King Leo, which is obviously Victory Leo. Yeah? Victory, yeah. Yes, Victory Leo. Yeah. So, the images we have here are not of the model. It seems it's just a CG render. But it gives you the idea of how he's going to look, and I don't think it's a massive shock to see he looks very similar to but not identical to his G1 counterpart. He definitely has he definitely has what I would say are Gaogaiga main for his lion mode.
Yeah, I would say there's definitely a Brave influence on this whole thing.
Yeah, very. His jet mode is ooh, that's a mess.
It's a Victory Leo jet mode.
It certainly is, and that was a fucking mess as well.
I was like, shit. I mean, we could make him a triple changer, could we?
He'll be a jet, and we'll shove him on the arse of Star Saber, and he'll be like a jet truck. It's fine.
We could just have him be a lion.
No. Wings and sabers, and Star Saber needs wings, more wings. He needs all of the wings. And you know what's better than a lion? Flying lion, a flying, if you would.
The flying.
Exactly.
See those on the African plains sometimes.
What ho? A flying?
A lion that stepped on a mine. Whee!
Oh no! Oh, damn you, kitty! Damn you, kitty! Yeah, so like you say, Mikey, he's got a brave aesthetic to it, but it keeps, I think it wouldn't please 100% a G1 only fan, but I don't think it would like
it wouldn't
completely flip out. No, because it's still got enough of the cues. It's got all the color placements in the right part. As we said last time when it came to Star Saber, Victory Saber, it might be a little bit different since they changed the silhouette a bit more on it with his big shoulder pads.
And give him an X-Kaiser head.
Yes, yeah, because these images we have now of the Victory Saber aren't silhouetted, which they were previously. Because I remember you saying like they may have changed the feet. Doesn't look like they have. They still look like the big slippers.
Yeah, I think they've made it a tad less obvious. He's literally just standing on two platforms with feet.
Oh, I think you're being generous.
You have foot covers.
I think you're being generous with that.
I'm not inaccurate in saying he has foot covers.
Oh, no. I think you're being generous in the fact that these aren't just still giant slippers. It does look like they have. I'm gonna say they've deliberately made the feet bigger,
yes.
Both frontways and backways, and I think that's just to support in.
He looks a lot more Sentai.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe the feet. He looks like he's on big Sentai foot platforms. But it looks like he would probably be stable with them, more stable than going with a more accurate look, especially with articulation involved. So the bigger feet means that he should be able to do more dynamic posing as far as the articulation allows, I suppose. Right?
It's just the image of him like trying to do an action pose, and it's basically I'm doing an action pose while standing on two large boxes.
That's right. You know what these need? They need wheels, so they're like roller skates. That's what I'm looking for.
If I had that, I would have him in all the like, oh god, no poses.
What do you think?
I like the shoulder pads, and I like the head design.
Yeah, I think that was I think you mentioned again last time we could sort of tell something was going on with the head. Again, we don't. It's not a close enough image of the head to see everything that's going on, but changing that silhouette again makes that super mode a little bit more interesting. What do you think of King Leo on his own then?
Decent. I mean, robot mode is basically just Victory Leo.
Yeah.
The lion mode looks like it's got decent posability, and the jet mode's a brick. And so it is. But Victory Leo is one of those characters who I like, so I am interested to see how this will look in physical. I like the combined mode. It's an interesting case of Star Saber is largely responsible for a lot of the aesthetics of Brave, certainly early Brave.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see, like, it's like the DNA's feeding back all of a sudden, which I like. You know, giving him just like we're giving him shoulder pads. Why? Because Japan.
Yeah.
We're giving him spiky headpieces. Why? Japan. Which is what Brave was. Basic Brave's upgrades were basically every upgrade looked like the robot it was before, but spikier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which wasn't a bad thing.
Oh God, no, it was great. I liked it.
Yeah. Usually with a lion head somewhere.
They really did go hard with the lion heads for most of the line.
And remember, X-Kaiser doesn't have any lion mode.
No, but he does have the lion motif
head
for some reason. Yeah.
It's like because his main body when he's all like full power is a tractor trailer that's standing upright.
Yeah.
And he's a car, and then a lion head just pops out.
Yeah. Maybe it was integrated into the story. I don't know.
I've seen a few Brave series, but I have not seen X-Kaiser, even though I think it's subbed.
It's probably somewhere out there. Yeah, I would guess. Do you have anything else you want to drop on these, Mikey? Like thoughts?
No, not really.
No.
You?
No, I'm perfectly fine. So why don't you take us away with some Japanese model news, or if these are the models? I can't remember.
Flametoys have new images of 2 model kits. One is their Devastator. We won't really talk about it. It's basically the Devastator posing, which is I think we both sort of agree. It looks like it would be a fun toy. I'm not necessarily sure we're into the aesthetic.
Yes, if anyone was going to buy it out of the two of us, that's a lot more your kind of shtick. So if you're not into it, it's unlikely that either of us are going to get it, unless someone wants to buy 4 Mikey.
Yes, do that.
I thought I should throw it out there, just in
no
case.
shame. Do it.
Yeah, no shame.
So they also have official images of the furai model kit G1 Optimus Prime. So this is the first of their model kits, which is not super stylized. This is basically a posable action figure of Optimus Prime you build. This is the 12th in the series, which I find amazing, because what non-transformable licensed third-party figure line has gone this long? And has figures still to come.
Yeah.
Because we know at least they've got plans for the Beast Wars leaders, they got plans for Windblade, other... Then there's the larger line, and that's still got figures to come out. Like, Flametoys is doing well for itself.
It's not doing terribly, yeah.
So this is, kind of a what if the cartoon was a little bit more anime, basically. It's they define it as a modernized and shape optimized G1 Optimus Prime. 40 movable joints, made of ABS, joints of soft plastic where replicable. Blah blah blah. You'll probably need at least a good panel liner, and a good bit of paint to make this guy look nice. He'll be $40 when he's released, but we get to see his accessory count. We get to see him in various action poses. He can open his boobs for showing off what appears to be a sculpted in matrix. So enjoy that when you're painting.
Yeah, you can shoot knowledge at people.
Yeah, he has a lot of hand options, more than most of these kits. He's got open hands, blade open hands, fists, pointing hands, and holding thing hands. Usually you'll only get, I'd say you get 3 hand options.
Do you think they're putting more in just because it's G1 Optimus Prime? Because I would assume that's probably the reason. So. Yeah. It's people will buy Optimus Prime because it's Optimus Prime.
Yep. He also comes with a gun and an axe. The pointing finger is something that I almost wish was going on. It's kind of like how I wish Masterpiece would stop doing the thing of one pointing finger and then the rest altogether.
Yeah.
It's weird to me. They show him in a wide variety of poses. This guy is as articulated as any of the previous figures. I think he looks good. He is, the qualifier is this is the 3rd Optimus in this line. It is, to me, the least visually interesting of the 3 Optimuses. Because we've got the highly stylized Flametoys original, and we've got the IDW, both of which I like the design more. But this guy looks very solid. Don't quote me on this until the toy comes out, but I'm seeing in the shoulders and the legs, it looks to me like there's been some changes in the engineering.
Oh, okay.
So I'm wondering if they've upgraded him a bit. He is going to need a lot of panel lining.
Oh,
but they all do.
that's easy enough.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I quite enjoy panel lining, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he is going to need a lot, so be aware of that. Like, these guys come with stickers, but I would always recommend getting a Gundam marker, getting some paints, getting something, and doing it yourself, because it looks a hell of a lot better. Look at Megatron's chest. Yeah, my opinion of this looks like a solid kit. Andy, what are your thoughts?
Here's the thing. I will say this. I think this looks a lot better as a figure, as a posable figure, than the Reveltech one, the new Reveltech one.
Yes, I would agree with that wholeheartedly.
Not just the amount of posability it seems to have, but the way that they've mixed the proportions up to give it a bit more of an anime look, rather than the slightly more boxy / anime look that the Reveltech one seemed to have. This seems like it's going all in for make it as dynamic as you possibly can, which is not a terrible thing. I mean, it's difficult to say how good it'll feel in hand, because it is a model kit, so that's always something to be aware of. If you like the weight and feel of an actual toy, it is starkly different from that of a model kit, but that's, that's...
And you very quickly learn how to handle model kits.
Yeah, and I mean, like, model kits are dramatically cheaper, I would say, than them then.
Sometimes more fun.
Sometimes, yeah, because it's instead of like pulling it out and just playing with it once, it's like you're spending an hour or more, however long it takes you to build a kit, putting it together, and like if you then want to take it to the next level, paint it. So that's why I've been enjoying my Gundams recently. But no, this is great. It's a shame that it comes with so many hands versus all the other ones that don't come with as many hands. But like I said earlier, I think we can easily guess that that's just because it's Optimus Prime and it'll sell. Do you see a Megatron in this style in the future, Mikey? G1?
I could very much see a Megatron.
Again, it's a safe choice, isn't it?
Yeah, I should say, with the caveat, as long as it's not taking away from their other stylized designs, because that is, for me, their bread and butter, and they are very, very good at that.
Yeah.
So, because I'm still super looking forward to Windblade. Those Beast Wars designs looked killer. I'm amazed they haven't done 15 more Seekers. But
Mikey, give it time.
Give it time.
Give it time.
I want a special release of Thundercracker with a table and a dog.
You're gagging for that dog, and I'm not sure it will ever happen.
A convincing Puggle.
I'm preparing you, Mikey. I'm preparing you for life.
They're a hard toy to find. Puggles, like no one wants to do toys of Puggles, Andy. I don't get it. But no. Yeah, I think also I wouldn't be shocked if this ended up in the $70 pre-assembled, pre-painted line, if you want to hold out for that. Anyway, Andy, take us on to the next thing.
All right then, Mr. Mikey. This is I guess a kind of a strange thing. I guess you could say. I know where
I would have put this.
You would have put this in the crappy corner, wouldn't you?
Oh, good lord, yes.
Yeah, well, it's a movie that I would certainly put into the crappy corner, but this is big screens of VR cinema. It's showing The Last Night, Transformers The Last Night this month. So, big screens of virtual cinema app allowance people to use the VR headset to watch a movie in the simulated environment, like around a campfire or in a retro cinema. Wow, this is so stupid. Users can also can watch along with friends, including customizable avatars and sharing audio. Paramount and Big Screens have teamed up to bring Transformers The Last Night in 3D format from January 17th, so it's on now, to the 24th. So it's nearly over already. Dark of the Moon will be available from January, or was available from the 10th to the 16th. Ticket prices range between $4 to $5 because effectively you're renting it. So this is a weird thing. I never heard of this before, Mikey. Had you?
I've heard people say that, we should, one of the uses for VR is going to be the cinema experience at home.
I don't like that.
I would say that we're not there yet to make it convincing where people are like, it's the same as being in the cinema.
Yeah, no.
Because right now it's not. And like 3D, oh good, the gimmick no one liked in the first place.
Yep, they keep trotting it out though, don't they?
Yeah, but no one actually wants it. And so I can see this on Netflix if I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it, but it's on Netflix and I don't have to pay an extra $4. And I like tickets starting at, what are the extra expenses on this?
Virtual popcorn.
And I was like, watch it. It's like, watch it with your friends, like you're at the cinema, or go to the cinema.
Yeah.
And watch something better. And I'm just looking through. The options were for January 10th to January 17th. Star Trek Beyond, which I haven't seen, but people say is the best one of those three.
Okay.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Okay.
Dark of the Moon. And Interstellar.
Okay, I hear that's meant to be good. I have no interest in seeing it, but I hear
it's
it's
very
fine.
artistic.
That's what I hear.
And in the week to follow, Transformers: The Last Night.
Ooh.
Which means they skipped a movie.
Oh no, what a shame. The continuity's shattered, Mikey.
Terminator, whichever the feck which one it is.
Genesis?
Might be Genesis, I don't know. Ghost in the Shell, which I still have to watch.
No, yeah, okay.
And Top Gun.
The new one?
Top Gun in 3D?
Is that the new one or the OG one?
No.
What?
No,
the OG?
Oh, in 3D?
Oh, that'll be done in post. That's still.
Oh, that'll be atrocious.
Oh no.
You know what you could have had? Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah. That movie that looks
had...
super good in 3D.
Yes, which had excellent post-production 3D.
Yeah.
The best I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's almost like
Because
it was made for it.
And it's almost like none of you fuckers went to see it. What a good movie.
Yeah.
What a great movie, which is also the only movie I've seen to make proper use of 3D. That wasn't Kamen Rider A to Z.
Oh,
where
no.
they had him throw the memories at the screen. Do you remember that? Whenever the bad guys transformed, it was just like they'd hurl the memory at the screen because it's coming at you, kids.
Yeah, I remember.
Good movie.
I mean, that was a bit blatant and in your face, but the actual movie wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Top Gun.
Top Gun
in 3D.
3D.
Oh, man. I would rather go to cinema, because at least I get a day out. Or an evening out, at least.
Yeah.
Andy, are you sitting there desperate to see in the cinema in your brain?
Well, VR also causes me a bit of nausea. So yeah, I can't imagine, like, if you're there with avatars, you know what is never good? Sharing an experience with people online, because they'll always ruin it. Like.
We would.
Well, yeah, I mean, like in World of Warcraft, I've seen like dramatic events go off, and like player characters are just wearing the stupidest stuff, jumping up and down in the middle of the screen. So it's like, they used to.
I seem to remember someone got married in World of Warcraft, and then like they were having a ceremony, and we're just like, okay, we're having the ceremony. We've just told people like, give us some space for this. Only people are on the guest list. Apparently, someone set up a full raid and wiped out the entire wedding party. Up to and including the priest.
Oh, no.
And this was a real wedding, by the way, people. Not a fake online one that was good, like, contracts were being signed.
Oh,
It's like halfway through your wedding. Because, like, you met in Warcraft, you got to know each other, it was a wonderful experience. You say, you know what, this meant so much to us, we're gonna do it in-game. Some asshole comes up and murders all your friends and family.
It's almost like they didn't understand the media that they were in. Because I know that wouldn't work. How did they know that wouldn't work?
I also remember hearing something... Hello, Doc. I also remember hearing something about a funeral that was on World of Warcraft, and people just... Oh, they was crashing. Yes, you can come in. Lazy bitch, literally. Come on, hop up. The fire is being lit up above, and she hates the sound of it.
Oh.
There we go. That's Optimus Prime. Who's that? That's Optimus Prime.
You know what
Yes,
the weirdest
right.
thing, everybody?
Optimus Prime.
He's talking to his sister, and she's about the same age as him. Strange. Anyway, the VR experience is available if you really want to go that way, but, you know, I personally wouldn't. Mikey, tell me about guests going to conventions.
Well, are you going to Orlando, Florida?
I
Home
am
of
not.
heat? Good, because you would die.
It's the home of moist heat, not just heat, moist heat. I've been there before. It's nice.
So March 20 to 22nd, of course, we have TFCon America #1. So remember, but they have announced several guests before: Bob Bodiansky, Greg Berger, Venus Terzo, Victor Caroli, Mark Watt, Jose Delbo, Alex Milne, Jack Lawrence, Olivia Ravendelli, and Andrew Griffith. One, they've got more to come, and one of those is Casey Collar, the man who draws the straight lines. He is, of course, an artist who worked on All Hail Megatron, the Transformers Sourcebook, Morden Meets the Eye, RID, a bunch of spotlights, Ironhide. He's prolific. He is prolific. And he will be there to draw stuff and sign stuff and give panels and tell you to leave him the fuck alone because he's having a beer. I don't think he's ever done that. I'm ad-libbing. So yeah, he's going to be there. They're going to be at the Doubletree by Hilton at the entrance of Universal Orlando. There is still rooms available in the discounted hotel block, so get in there. Joining him, actually no, because we thought we dropped this story last week. We said Bob Bodiansky was going to be there.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's why I read his name at the last list, and I remember that. So at TF Nation, they have another guest to announce, a surprise guest, a guest no one saw coming, a guest who may not even be real.
Is it you? Is it Mikey?
I don't exist, and you know that. I am a hologram.
Mm-hmm.
But it will, in fact, be the man, the mystery, the wide selection of hats. Jim Sorensen, basically because we invited him once for Transformers Animated and he never left.
That's right.
He basically went there and he's in Birmingham right now.
Is he actually?
No, he just sits in the hotel.
Okay. See, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you were being serious or not, because I could believe he's there right now doing something. I don't know what, but he could totally just be there.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, occasionally texting Bill Forster,
preparing,
throwing his child at people. He says terrible things about that child, by the way. Jim's a bad man. He's a bad man. But yeah, he's here this year promoting his book Transformers Visual History with Viz Media. This is a new 408-page celebration of the 35 years of Transformers history across all platforms. Gonna be mostly an art book, will include a lot of stuff. Most comprehensive compilation of Transformers artwork ever assembled, including rare and iconic imagery pulled directly from Hasbro archives. I believe this is part of the reason he got to know Mark Watts. Because obviously, if you want to get some art, go to the artist.
Yes.
Jim will, of course, be joining Transformers writer Brian Ruckley, artist Kay Zama, Nick Roach, JPB. He'll be joining Sima Lee Montano, Peter Cullen, Sarah Stone, Bette McGuire, Anna Malkova, Jack Lawrence, James Roberts, Lee Sullivan, and Tanya Miko. I ran out of steam. And probably more guests to be announced. And this is me being a conspiracy theorist, right?
Okay.
A theorist of the conspiracy, but I noticed Ed Peary did a seemingly interestingly placed massive tribute art piece for TF Nation about Frank Welker.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Pretty much every person Frank has played that you can name, which is basically like 5% of the people he's played. So you sticking
with our theory that could come to pass?
I think the last guest may be someone of note.
Yeah, are we still going by the thing that Peter Cullen needs to hold his hand? Because that's fine. That's fine if it's true, but man.
I don't want to be here, Peter. It's okay. These are British people. They're not like the rest.
No, they're worse.
But it's just... Ed always does art pieces for various guests, especially voice actors. Which is obviously why this is suspicious, because that's a lot of effort to put into an art piece that will sell at TF Nation but won't have any relevance to the guest list.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
What do you know, Mr. Peary, that we don't, apart from the fact that time we got into a raging argument about Evangelion? You're still wrong. It's my show. You're still wrong. He's lovely. Ed's lovely. But yeah, so that's the news, really, unless you have an objection to Jim showing up.
No. Yeah, let him come. Let him come.
Let him come.
It's a battle.
I won't kneecap him yet.
No. You gotta wait. You gotta wait it out. You can't just rush in there. That's madness.
There was hang on.
So
I showed up.
What's that?
I'm trying to remember something. There was something in the news this week. Now that just hit me. That was over in T-Formers, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
Huh.
Keep talking. I'm just going to scroll through.
I mean, we've got literally no other news, so I was going to pass it on and ask what you've been up to this week and what you've done for fun. But now you're searching for stuff, so that's going to, split your brain consciousness into pieces. I can't fathom speech. Exactly.
I only have the one.
You found anything?
No, I'm trying to remember what it was, because... Oh, yes, there was a third-party thing.
Oh?
Was there something else? Yeah.
What was this thing for third-party?
There was something for Fans Hobby as well.
Right.
I'm just going to double-check there was nothing else. Oh, did we talk about the Master-Made God Jinrai, the little chibi God Jinrai?
I feel we've talked about it before, or we've talked about a chibi God Jinrai in the past.
Okay, so as far as I know, there's only the one. So, 2 third-party stories that aren't up on TFW. That occurred to me.
Well, you may as well tell us about these then, Mikey, since you've got the stories all open and whatnot.
And we'll use the power of editing to make it make sense.
Oh, it's this thing. Oh, yeah.
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 Hey, Andy.
What?
We need to do it.
Okay.
Also, what the hell? So, okay. In third-party news, completely natural, pulled out of their third-party news, Trans Art Toys have made the TA Friend. What an interesting name. Which is their BWM01. Strange Friend. This is an homage figure to Transmutate, based pretty heavily off of the show model. Comes with multiple faces to represent their wide range of emotions. Has working pistons in the neck and one of the legs, and articulated fingers. I mean, you and I are always pushing for action figures in some shape or form.
Sure.
It's hard to say I want Transmutate because I think it's a great design.
Yeah. It's a mess for a reason.
Yeah, it's a mess on purpose, and because she's literally made out of spare parts.
Yeah.
That of different characters. They basically sliced apart a bunch of models and stuck them together and made her or him or them.
It.
Susan Blue. They make Susan Blue. I mean, it looks like a quite competently made figure.
I mean, for what it is, sure, yeah.
It's weird, because it's a very good episode.
It is. It's a super good episode.
But there's a lot to like about Transmutate, and it's just not enough to make me ever say I want Transmutate on a desk.
No, do you remember for the Beast Wars 10th anniversary, you could buy those figures and the Build-A-Figure was Transmutate?
Yeah, and that wasn't a great Build-A-Figure.
No. This obviously can do a lot more than that, because it actually has a lot more articulation than that. But yeah, I think if someone... I feel this will probably be more expensive than maybe it should be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like you say, Transmutate, okay, sure, but I'm not sure I've ever really had personally at least, had a desire to own a Transmutate figure. Not really, as I never completed the figure from back in the day. Maybe there are some people out there who are, gagging for her. So, I mean, it gives them the option to get her. That's good at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it looks like it should, I suppose.
People seemed excited, but again, I think people are excited on the concept rather than the figure.
Probably.
Which,
But I
I'm
don't
not
think
going
you
to
could really
say you
evolve it
shouldn't be.
much past that, though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you want it to be as accurate as possible, she can't do much. And I
No.
always say she just because it was voiced by Sibling. But, you know, the whole concept of transmutate is that they're dying on their feet.
Yeah.
And that, you know, having them be crazy articulated wouldn't really be true to the character now, would it? The other bit of third-party news I wanted to throw in was Fans Hobby MB16 Lightning Eagle. These are in-hand images of their version of Thunderclash. So this is a 12.5-inch tall figure. Barrel cannons, barrel blasters, many barrels. I think he's a new mold. So correct me if I'm wrong about that, guys. But yeah, he turns into... I mean, it's difficult to say accurate because obviously there's been quite a few variations of Thunderclash's look. He's a very G1-y figure. With a... Like, there's a weird thing where they've given him big puffy lips, which I feel like is they're trying to emulate, like, more than meets the eye.
Okay, yeah.
But, you know, I'm not sure it quite works. He comes with a gold gun. I'm sure they didn't put swirly plastic in there, so it should be fine. He comes with 2 gigantic cannons, which do look quite good. I quite like them. Do we have a picture of his alt mode? I'm scrolling through. There's a picture highlighting he has a tiny port on his backside that you can put a gun into.
Hooray!
Because that, you know where I want to store a gun? My ass. A lot of pictures of his vehicle. Oh, here we go. Yeah, and we get to see the vehicle mode. The trailer, I think the trailer looks good.
Yeah.
I think the vehicle mode actually looks quite good. I've always liked the pink. I've always liked the color scheme on Thunderclash.
Oh, yeah.
So he is G2 before G2 was super a thing. We don't see a picture of his his base mode, which, I mean, it's a dumbass base mode, but it is kind of iconic, so I really hope it is in there. But there is a nice thing now where Fans Hobby have a very retro style fight scene featuring most of their big name figures. So you've got their versions of the Monster Bots, you've got their G2 Optimus, Scourge, is in there with their version of Transmetal Megatron, Overlord, God Bomber, and Jinrai.
Yeah, they're very much trying to ape the old school thing, and they kind of succeed. The reason I don't think they fully succeed is you can tell that it's a standard photo where they're standing. So you've got like 3 or 4 of them in the air, and you can tell that they've just had, you know, the feet Photoshop just slice. You know, the feet haven't been posed in a dynamic kind of way.
Yeah. Which is not exactly inaccurate to how the old art pieces used to look.
Well, no, because the old art pieces were art rather than with the actual figures, because they couldn't do anything with the actual figures because they didn't move most of the time.
You also get a blurb regarding Fans Hobby, which was founded in 2016 by a group of fans, emphasis on fans, with expertise in transforming robots and collectible toy development. Creative mind behind the brand involved is in iconic projects for different brands. We aim to offer transforming robots fans, they really like the word fans, long-waiting characters, and bring a new extended dimension for collectible toys, which fits perfectly with your MP collection. No, it doesn't. Because they have their very own unique chunky aesthetic, which kind of disallows the whole looking like G1.
Sure.
I would say, especially in the Monster Bots, who are all the chunk. But no, I think this is neat. I like the look of this guy. I want to see more pictures. And I forgot how many toys they've done.
A decent few, I'd say. Decent few. We've definitely talked about this guy before. I recognize how he looks and everything like that, and he's definitely a remold of their God Jinrai figure. I remember that much. He still looks okay. He still doesn't look too bad. I think the added extra kind of oomph that they're doing with the box art, that's quite nice. That's gives a little extra pep to it. And it's nice to have kind of a old school throwback box. Because I always think they have a lot more pep to them. They grab your eyes a lot more just because of the bright colors and everything like that. So yeah, it's nice enough. At least the box is nice enough. I'm still not sold on the combined figure. I don't think the combined figure looks super great myself. But there you go. That's all the news then, yeah, Mikey?
All I know about.
Right, what you been up to this week, Mikey? What you done for fun and all that bobbins?
What have I done for fun?
That's right.
Watched a little bit. Another one of those busy work weeks where basically I got home and went, I want to watch something that doesn't activate my brain in any way.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically watched a lot of YouTube. I rewatched Primal because it's now on all 4.
Oh yeah.
All 5 episodes, so there is no excuse, and we must support this show. It's an amazing show, and now it's on an app for free, across Ireland and the UK. You've no excuse not to watch it, guys. Holy crap, you need to see that show, because I still got as invested to, like, watching it now a few months on as I did when I saw it the first time. I also finished Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, the live action thing.
Okay.
Okay.
It worked. They brought in something I never thought they'd bring in, which was the DCEU, in the form of Ezra Miller's Flash. He is in it.
Yes, by that you mean the movie stuff, don't you?
Yeah. He is in it in a rather slightly out of place cameo, which feels like we could get him and we got him too late to stick him in the other stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. I saw the clip.
But it also feels like the Flash movie is going to involve a moment where he disappears and comes like, I'm now named the Flash because I met another Flash. Like, I would laugh my ass off if that scene ended up in the movie. But it was fun. Lex Luthor is surprisingly decent in this universe. I haven't seen Supergirl much since season 2, so I'm way behind on what he's like. But he's surprisingly competently acted, considering he's being played by one of the 2.5 Men.
What?
He's being played. You know, 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
You know, there was Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. Oh, Alan.
You know the other guy.
Yeah, Alan.
Alan is Lex Luthor.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Wow. He's not someone I'd choose for that role.
No, but he works for their take in it, I'll be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird because it kind of concludes in episode 4 and then they have an episode 5.
Right.
Where there's also action stuff, but a lot of it's kind of just showing the new status quo.
Okay.
So, you know, they keep the multiverse, but they've streamlined the CW shows, is what I'll say. There's some good stuff with Arrow, because, you know, he's leaving. The Arrow's wrapping up, so they did some stuff with that. Also, some more cameos and stuff in the final thing where they show, like, changes to timeline, like, before Brandon Routh was playing the original movie series Superman, who, you know, ended up becoming Kingdom Come Superman because his life sucked. And then there's just a shot of him in the classic suit, sort of suggesting that, you know, changes to reality have led it so his life doesn't suck.
Right.
Although he still went from being Christopher Reeve to Superman Returns, so, you know.
It's not the best, yeah. Does he still have a son?
They do name drop the son.
Okay. That's good.
But, like,
actually, what's the son called? What do they call the son?
Jason.
Was that his name? Okay, that's not a cool name.
I checked. But, like, Superman from Supergirl's thing has a son called John.
Okay.
Which works fine for me because John is Superboy in the comics and he's a good character until a certain editor ruined him.
Ooh, boy.
Or at least didn't ruin him. Did something I think took away a lot of the fun of the character.
Okay.
He still came out of it better than most.
Right.
God bless him. But no, actually, honestly, like, I think it's worth a watch, and it ended up, there was a bit of a spin-off from this, because it made me want to check out Black Lightning, because I really like the actor in this crossover. He's got a real presence. I like the tone he takes with the character, and it made me curious, because I've never seen Black Lightning. So I ended up watching season 1 and 2. They're both on Netflix, and they're not particularly long. I will admit there was a lot of skimming. He is excellent. He is a real good actor. He apparently originally applied for Luke Cage.
Oh, right, okay.
And I think he would have made a good Luke Cage. I think he makes a better Black Lightning. And I like how they play him off as he's an educator, he's a teacher, and he's also someone with a lot of damage who sees he's living in a community where drugs and gangs are causing a lot of real problems that he could do something about. I like it's got a lot of similarities in tone to Luke Cage, because like Luke Cage, it's kind of trying to deal with the fact the gang culture that is associated with a lot of African American stereotypes and reality of it, because it's written by someone who grew up in a gang neighborhood. So he basically said, I just wanted to write some of the people I knew, because he knew some fairly dodgy people growing up. So yeah. Where it falls apart is a lot of the writing, especially in season 1, is very mixed, very up and down. It has problems with villains. Tobias Whale is in it. He's played by a relatively new actor.
Who is that? Tobias.
He's a rapper he is a Black Lightning main villain. There's an episode of Justice League Unlimited that has a pastiche of him in it, but it's to do with Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Right.
And it's mostly an episode about their romance, but they have this guy it's based off of Tobias Whale. He's a big, huge albino fella, albino African-American fella, and he is, he's Black Lightning's, I think he's his main enemy. Again, not a character I'm super familiar with either way. The actor, I think, for someone who doesn't act much, he's a rapper, from what I understand. He's not bad at all. He's got real presence in some of the lines, and he plays up the viciousness, because this is a more violent show than most of the CW stuff.
Okay.
Like, he likes to harpoon people.
As he do.
Because, he's a white whale. He has a copy of Moby Dick on his desk. Do you see where they're getting at?
Oh, man. Wow, that's heavy-handed as fuck.
But also, like, a lot of the other, like, the sub-villains in this are not very good or interesting. There's one they're trying to make him look a bit redeemable, but they don't really do a good job of it. And then there's, like, the evil government organization who are just so boring.
Oh.
So boring. And then there's a problem with the main secondary characters, like the daughters who gain powers and have to learn how to deal with them. They're fairly okay. One is a kind of an activist type, and one is, I just want to be normal. I don't even like being the daughter of a teacher because it gets me bullied at school.
Oh.
Which you would. I mean, it does happen. But I really don't like the mother character.
Oh,
really
right.
Don't like her writing, don't like her performance.
Is it because you hate women, Mikey?
Yes, it's because I hate women.
I fucking knew it.
And non-white women.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
You're the worst,
I'm
Mikey.
hating on them. I am the worst. Although, she is a terrible parent.
Is she the one that was, who you saying was a terrible parent, and I was like, worse than Goku, and you were like, yes?
There is a moment where one of the children... And also, I feel I shouldn't have to say this, but I probably should. I don't care that she's a woman or black.
Just in case you couldn't get the joke.
Just in case someone... I get an email saying, like, you racist, sexist motherfucker. Like...
Oh, dear.
I'm only sexist to one of my female friends, mostly because it gets on her nerves, and it's really funny.
Is that PC?
Like, at least intentionally. We're not going to get into the politics of race and sex. But, her daughter's like, oh god, I got powers, oh god, how do I deal with this? So her way of dealing with this was to have a meta-human therapist jump her daughter in a park, drag her into a mindscape, and apparently they thought, well, we didn't want you to have your guard up. Followed by her daughter very rightly freaking out and saying, like, did any of you ever think to ask me about if I wanted therapy?
Yeah.
And then they're like, don't you raise your voice at me, young lady. And I was just like, raise your voice, young lady.
They kidnapped her or something.
Basically. There's also a secondary character called Gambi, who's kind of like the man who raised Black Lightning, because of course he had a murdered parent.
Sure.
Because he's a DC character, they all do. And he is by far the weakest performance in the show of the main cast. And it's weird because they do a scene like, is he dead? And it's kind of comparable to some stuff they did in Flash, except like, oh, if Flash's adopted dad, nearly died, you'd give a shit.
Right.
Whereas here, you don't. You feel like the characters do, but you don't know why because he's not interesting. It's an average show, but there are a couple of, like, I would really love to see the character of Black Lightning in a better show.
Okay.
So, and I would like to see the character of Tobias Whale in a better show. And with those actors, I think they do a good job. Then there was Rider, which is 01's up to episode 19. Again, more interesting stuff put in this show. I think they secretly snuck a tournament arc in before I realized it. But now they've said we will have 5 rounds, and at the moment they're doing 2 episodes each, so this is going to be a 10 episode thing. But yeah, Evil Real Estate. A human gear whose name is literally Smile. More setup, more reveals about how Thouser sees the world. Also him going on about like the inherent corruptedness in self-aware human gears when literally everything to do with them going insane and killing people is his fault.
What's wrong with that, Mikey? What's wrong with that?
Like, well, they'll have a negative singularity because of malice. Like, the problem is they don't have the reason to control self-awareness. Mm-hmm. And I'm just sitting there going like, you're the one who broke the fucking machine on purpose.
Yeah,
for evil.
It could happen.
Yeah, because of you.
Nah.
Mr. Trousers, who doesn't know maths.
Wait, are you saying that that Kamen Rider Trousers is the penguin from the wrong pair of trousers, Wallace and Gromit? Like those mechanized trousers were fine until that penguin messed with them.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Interesting.
Feathers McGraw. Feathers McGraw.
That was his name. I forgot.
There's a really good fight scene in this between a new raider, which is the human monsters, 01 and Vulcan, and it's got some really cool shots in it. Like there's one where he's being stabbed by a spear, and they've got a camera on the spear, and it's like you see it from the angle of the spear as it's going over. Oh. And there's those shots like he's being thrown into a wall. You know how those usually cut, so it's very clear he just sort of lightly bounced off a wall and fell down.
Yes.
They don't do that in this shot. It just looks like someone threw him into a fucking wall.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, as long as it was done safely. He doesn't have
a spine after this, but for the art.
Exactly.
No, 01, still fun. Not my favorite series, but an enjoyable, solid one.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to more. Watched another episode of Seton Academy, Join the Pack, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Which is the animal ones, but you watched that as well, so I'll leave you to talk about that one.
Cool.
And the only other thing of interest is I got my second to last Christmas package. Still waiting on my Furai Standard War Greymon. But I got Nendroid Shingo Akane. I got Figma Mankan Chokomako, which you can only say like that. And I got Gunpla Build Fighters Papa Bear Gagai.
Yay!
Who I was working on before we came on this show.
How far you got with him?
I've got him about halfway done. He's not a complicated build.
No, because he's based on a very old figure.
Yeah, and At-Guy?
Yes, the At-Guy has not had an update for a very long time.
Yeah. So it's a quite, like, compared to a Flametoys or even a Figurai standard, he's not complicated. He is my first Gundam, though.
Yep.
And he is Charlie Chaplin as a space giant robot bear.
Yes.
Which also means you don't need a lot of paint. He has some stickers. I would recommend at least using the tie. Mm-hmm. I am panel lining him like mad because there's some crazy detail, but apart from that, he has really no need of paint. What you get in the box is more than enough. One thing I wish he had more of were face plates, because he's got a series of eyes.
Oh, yeah, it's so fucking annoying, isn't it? They give you, 2?
They give you 2. One with angry eyes, one with normal eyes, and you have to then sticker over them.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. They do it, they've done it a lot. I mean, they do this with Figurize kits as well, don't they, for the Dragon Ball? Because they did it with the 2 Android figures from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah,
one thing I'm kind of glad of, most of the Figurize I've done don't have face stickers.
Right.
They're just build the eye. The eye is done. There you go.
Yeah.
But I've been looking to see if there's a third party option or an unofficial option somewhere, like someone's made faceplates. I haven't found any, but I haven't spent a lot of time in it.
At the very least, Shapeways might have something potentially.
Yeah, but it's an enjoyable build. It's like how the face goes on. Not how I was expecting. It uses uses a polycap.
Mm-hmm. A ball joint for some reason. Polycap ball joint. It's weird.
It's interesting. And I love the look. I love the look. So I'm having real fun building it. And I was looking like how many of these things are there. Are so many of these things.
Oh, they're a lot bigger, guys. They've reused that mold a lot.
Yeah, and they've made human ones as well, and they made the petite Berga guy.
Yes,
and it's all just lovely.
Yeah.
So Berga, I'm really having fun with him. He has a top hat.
He does.
He has a cane. He is so jaunty. I'm going to have fun with him. Mako, I haven't unpacked. I'm not sure I'm ready to emotionally. I have sat in the bed holding it and just going like, I could open her now, and she's just looking at it, just like, do you want to? Because I feel like there should be music when I open this.
You're too tired. You haven't had the energy to do it.
Yeah, you know what? That you need to be all there when you're dealing with Mako, and I'm just not at the moment. Yeah, because it's Mako.
That's right.
Like, and if they did a Bancho version of her, that would be lovely. It's like it would be a bloody add-on kit. It'll be a whole new figure, but it could be an add-on kit.
Yeah.
Also, kind of, sort of want. I have a lot of wants after this week. Because we have a problem, Andy.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. I got an Nendroid.
You did.
I want more Nendroid.
A slippery slope, my friend.
She's really good. She's so much fun. That, like, basic articulation, but it's got a lot of character to it. Like, the fact it comes with a stand is such a godsend. The swappable faces are all excellently sculpted. Paintwork's brilliant. Loads of hand options. Surprising amount of hand options. Little accessory, like the fact she comes with little accessories like the glasses, a little computer with Alexis on it, and 2 sculpted monsters from the show. I think they were the first and the second one. And it's weird how characterful this thing can be when it's so limited, and it is compared to a Figma or something very limited, but she's got swappable legs, Andy, so you can have her lounging about, sculpting monsters in her knickers, which is something she did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll use them, but I'm fine with her lounging around sculpting monsters in her typical attire. But it's like, I've said it before, it's like it's like Funko Pop's give a shit.
Yeah.
Because they don't. They so don't. And it's made, I've spent like a couple of hours going through various websites going like, okay, they're doing Taylor the Shield Hero, they're doing Konosuba, the Konosuba ones look pretty solid. They've done Steins Gate, they've done Usho and Tora.
They got the fingers in a lot of things.
Yeah. They've done, like, even if you just go with Gridman, you've got Rika and you've got Gridman himself.
Yeah.
Which could be retooled into a Grid Knight without much hassle. And then you got loads of Fate stuff if you're into that. They've got for Steins Gate, they've got Ocarine, they've got Chris, and they've got Lady Tutoru herself, who I've wanted a bloody figure out for fucking ever.
Yeah, and that's the only way you can get it, right?
Yeah, and then they've got them in weird cheerleader outfits that are from the concept art.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah. But still no Moeka, and I'm still annoyed by that because I need a Moeka. But they've got Ferris. Ferris has a figure, but not Moeka.
Which version?
Just basic cat made version.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, but I want my deeply traumatized, not very good reporter, writer, secretly murderer lady. Sure.
Yeah, she was your favorite.
Oh, she's my favorite character. By far. She's really good. People should watch and experience Steins Gate in all its forms. There's so much to experience. I'm still finding new stuff. I mean, I would put money down. We're going to get Final Fantasy Nendroids coming up as well.
That's an easy bet. Well, actually, is it? Because I can't. Who does the Play Arts Kai figures?
Squaresoft themselves.
Yeah,
Square
so
Enix.
you might not actually, because they seem to
True.
hold on to the license pretty hard.
But yeah, Nendroid, it turns out they're really, really enjoyable, and I've had a stupid amount of fun just moving her basic, like, without using the accessories much, just putting on her glasses and tilting her head and arranging her to look like she's doing evil, but for twisted reasons. Nendroids, Andy, seriously worth your time if you ever want to. I mean, I'm not sure they're all worth the money they go for at times, especially in the secondary market.
No, God no.
And it doesn't make me not want the Figmas.
Yeah.
Like, I still want the Figma of Akana, I still want the Figma Rika, and I still want all the Konosuba Figmas, because you can get the whole cast. Although, it is a shame that Megumin doesn't look like the best Figma in the world.
No, she's alright. She's not amazing, though.
Yeah, you buy her because the other three look amazing, in all honesty, but especially Aqua. My girl Aqua. I wouldn't marry Aqua, but I would watch other people marry Aqua.
Oh, no.
And I would laugh. But no. Nendroid's really, really fun. I hope to have Papa Guy built by next week, so we can talk about him in a bit more detail as a figure. But yeah, Andy, what about you? What did you get up to?
Not a huge amount. I've continued on with Iron-Blooded Orphans, which I'm still enjoying. I watched for the first time, because I hadn't seen it before, the Lego Ninjago movie. Have you seen that, Mikey?
The Lego Ninjago movie?
There is.
Is this a made-for-TV movie?
No, this was a movie that came out of the cinemas movie.
Right. Oh, was this like riding the hype of Batman and Lego Movie 1?
Yes. Yes, very much so. This did not match up to those. I would say the Lego Movie 2 is better. Like, I would probably rank them as Lego Movie 1, then either Lego Movie 2 or Batman. It's been a while since I've seen the Batman 1.
I would put Batman well ahead of Lego Movie 2.
Have you seen Lego Movie 2, have you?
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it, to be honest.
Okay, it'd been a while, because I came out of Batman, felt like okay, but not amazed by it. And there's some nice elements in 2, but for the most part, 2 wasn't great. This is not. This is just like a average kind of kids movie, which every now and again has a nice joke in there. But for the most part, it's not great. It's a real ball drop by Lego, which is a shame since it was their own property, so they wouldn't have had to pay licensing fees out to anyone or anything like that. So they would have made a lot more money if it had been a lot more successful. But it's just kind of meh. You know, it's not gonna hurt you. It doesn't like hurt you with how terrible it is. Like I feel with some movies I've seen. Like I'd probably prefer to watch it over a Pixar movie. But that's only because I really find Pixar movies to be dull and lifeless and repetitive at this point. But that's, again, just me.
Visually creatively dead.
Yeah, but again, a lot of people love those Pixar movies. It's just they stopped being unique for me a long time ago. Like you, I watched the Senton Gakuen, the animal school thing. That's fun, Mikey. That's a lot of fun. That's a hell of an amount of fun. That is the Monster Musume of 2020, I would say.
I could see it. Also, remarkably accurate in its facts.
Yeah, I didn't know that cats put their tails up in the air if they wanted attention.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's neat.
That's why if you're petting a cat, you'll notice their tail is usually standing straight up.
No, yeah, like when I think back to it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's neat. It's pretty cool. Sloth Girl who can die from anything, because sloths are basically, why haven't they died out yet? They move too fast, they die. They get wet, or get wet in water, they die. They don't have the right kind of food, they die. Like, Jesus, Mikey, how do sloths even still live?
But they sit in the one tree for most of their life.
And then they die.
Yeah, and they just hang there, occasionally eating the moss or leaves around them.
And then if they're unlucky, an eagle will take them.
Yeah, I also love the fact when she's moving, in the corner of the screen you see times speed.
Yeah, that was good. God, can you imagine how long the main character was there waiting for her to make him a cup of tea? By the time he got that cup of tea, it would have been cold.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, it's a hell of a lot of fun. They have that awkward scene where he explains that the posh Zebra Lady isn't a horse. And she's like, oh, can you prove it? And he's like, do you really want me to prove it? And she's like, ha ha ha, I'd love to see you prove it. He's like, are you sure? Do you really want... okay, bitch. Here we go. Puts her on his shoulder, lifts her skirt up and says, look at the tail. Look at the tail. Stop looking at her panties. Look at the tail. See how it's all fluffy? That's a donkey tail. Everyone's like, oh no. And she's like, yeah.
The horses are going like, we still think you're cool.
Yeah. I like it's weird though that the donkeys, like the actual donkeys, are portrayed as nerds as they were playing. Were they playing Magic the Gathering or something like that?
They were. I think they were playing a
Yu-Gi-Oh?
knockoff Magic the Gathering. Probably more Yu-Gi-Oh actually.
It was some kind of card game, and I was like, that's kind of cute.
How are they holding it? They have hooves.
I don't know.
So the way the males are portrayed in this is just wonderful to me.
Yeah, yeah. He really really fucking hates the world he lives in. Which is mainly because bears, like, as a child, 3 bears beat him up. 3 very, very cute bears beat him up. Which is kind of funny.
It's not a bad reason to maybe dislike the people you're stuck with.
No, in this world it makes a lot of sense. I like the fact as well that it's not... You mentioned last week that it was the T-Rex who said, if you don't do what I say, I'll eat you and make you go extinct. But also the Brontosaurus?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I got it right. It's like, hey, you're going to take the sloth girl home. No, not really. We're not really your friends. Oh, well, that's a shame. It looks like I'm going to have to stomp you then. It's like, okay, well, I guess we're taking her home. So it seems like all the teachers are incredibly violent to get their students to do stuff, which is fascinating. I really like it a lot. It's got a lot of fun to it. And then, like you say, it's got those bizarre, like, truthful animal facts, which is... You know, learning.
The koala one, are just like, koalas eat pap. Here is footage of a baby koala eating pap.
Yeah. I've wanted to know what this flavor was from so long ago. Oh, it's poo. It's my mum's poo. Yay. Which is something you don't want to visualize in this world.
No. But yeah, no. Because it looks a wee bit less than baby koala.
Yeah.
And more like, that's a baby climbing up a woman's bottom.
Yeah. Though it was quite funny to see like her sitting around the family table with her mum and her dad. Her mum, who's the anthropomorphized koala bear human mum, and then the dad who's
with
just
massive breasts. And
then the dad who's just a koala in a tracksuit. And glasses, if I remember. It's like, okay. This world is fucking weird. I like it. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to keeping this on my list. How
do they have house cats in a world like this?
I have no fucking idea.
It's just like, no one. It's because like the idea of domestication in this world is way fucking creepier.
Yeah, because then are there the anthropomorphized animals, and then are there also normal animals? What's the line? Like, can a cow person eat a beef burger and be okay with that? Or see a beef burger?
What, I mean, are they going to pull a Beastars kind of thing and start talking about, so what are the carnivores eating?
Yeah. It's weird. It's really interesting.
They will. I don't think they'll sort of stop and say, I'm eating my neighbor.
No, it's not that deep of an anime. It's a comedy anime, and it's funny, and I look forward. It's going to be a harem anime, clearly, as well, from the intro, where he gets a myriad of waifu animal girls, so... Yeah, no, it's good. I really enjoyed it.
The giant wolf lady in the intro, I'm curious about. She's very big.
She looked kind of scary as well, like she's hiding behind a tree creepily.
Yeah.
Who's the little child who gets punched in the face so many times, but then just kind of shakes it off? What animal is that meant to be? Like it's not a turtle, because she's getting punched in the face.
I would put money on a honey badger.
Oh, that'd be great.
Just because I can't think of any animal like if you're talking about animals where the legend lives up to the mythology, and this is a show that is talking about accuracy, so much she's got to be a honey badger, and she's black and white.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, if she's a honey badger and her whole thing is like people beat the shit out of her and does nothing, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. No, it's one of those kind of ones to watch out for if you want a fun comedy anime, just something dumb and silly to watch. I don't think I've been up to really anything else apart from just the usual.
Building a lot of stuff.
What's that?
You've been building Gunpla all week.
No, that was the previous week.
Maybe I swear I saw a tweet from you this week talking about it.
Did I? I might have. I have been building stuff, but I don't know whether that was the stuff I was building from last week that just kind of spilt over into this week as well, which probably was the case more so than anything, because I didn't get anything in the post, so it must just be a spillover. I do have a question for you though, Mikey, on the Moonbase 2 Facebook page concerning the comic. Oh well, we did the comic show. That was something we did.
Yep. Also, since we said it there, we should probably say it here. Congratulations, Adam and Abby, for the birth of young Jozzer.
Yeah, wee tiny Jozzer. Fucking Joz.
Wee Jozzer.
Aye. The question was from Christoph. Wow, Mikey, you finished CS, which I'm not sure what that is. Way faster than... Oh, Digimon. It was Digimon. It's a Digimon game. You finished your Digimon game way faster than I did. It took me over 260 hours. I'm guessing you didn't do that.
No, I think he probably went for all the complete Digidex and everything else.
Yeah.
There some of those take an unreasonably long time, and also it's not like the post game is play online or collect Digimon.
Sounds like you're very uncommittal, Mikey.
Just not that.
He does say that yes, he did the 100% plus DLC run while leaving my PS Vita on to have the farms run in my pocket. I'm sure that makes sense to you.
Vaguely.
The main question was he wanted to know what team you used. What was your main boys or lads?
Okay, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of remembering here.
It wasn't that long ago.
It's been a few weeks. So I did do a bit of a shake-up at the end because you unlock a bunch of super powerful ones just before the end of the game.
Of course.
I did some swapping around, but let's see. For most of the big part of the run, I had War Greymon.
Ugh. Lame.
Because one, he's classic, but two, he has one of the best attacks in the game.
Oh, lame. That's like giving Pikachu the best attack in the game.
He has a move, but he has a move which like ignores all defense, and
wow.
it also, and it hits like a brick.
Oh, okay,
so,
yeah, that's too good not to use.
If you fuse him into the Omegamon form, Omegamon is worse than him because he doesn't have that move. Despite the fact he has much higher stats.
Wow.
And also, like, he's key because there's enemies called Eaters who you need someone with piercing,
right,
to get through the defenses, because otherwise it's a fucking war of attrition and you will lose.
Mm-hmm.
You will play against a boss for half an hour and you will lose because he will be recovering and you're doing 50 damage to him per turn.
Right.
Metal Grurumon was in there as well because I needed a data, because you had virus, vaccine, and data, and I needed a data type that had a wide spread of attack. Then for my virus, what was my main virus at the time? I had Machine Dramon for a little bit, but Lady Devimon was a big one for me for a good long while. Yeah, and then she turned into Lilithmon, who is like way more than Lady Devimon, which I didn't realize. But she also has a piercing magic attack, and her special ability, because they all have special abilities. Her special abilities is darkness moves are twice as powerful, and her piercing magic attack is a darkness move. So she was doing 5 to 6 times the amount of damage than other people in the right circumstances.
Oh wow!
So she was took a long time to get her, but she was good. I also had Mastamon, because she did percentage damage and health, which made her really useful for some boss fights. I had Shine Greymon, burst mode, because he did a really strong multiple hits. But it had like, you lose 10% of your damage of your attack every time you use it. Except he had an ability that blocked all stat changes. So you just use that and you can basically blow the fuck out of people. I also had Rosemon burst mode because she had some really good attacks and she was a really good healer. Who else was in there? Because I think I had my main team was about 9 people by the end of it. I brought in, at the very end, Magnamon and Rapidmon, because they had really good defense, basically. And I brought in, what's his name? Jesmon, because he had a really good multiple hit attack. Oh, Piedmon was in there as well because he hit like 6 times for like 100 hit per turn, and that like in this game like hitting 1,000 isn't very common.
Right.
So, yeah, when I get to the new game, I'm going to try and use a different team overall. Partly because I want a different, more fun that way, and partly because apparently, if you've already played the old game, all the all the gameplay you've done carries over.
Oh, really? Okay, that's good.
So, like, you don't get to use the same characters or anything, but all the information, all the records of how to get different Digimon and everything else, that all carries over.
Right.
Which is, I think, pretty good. Yeah, so that was kind of my main approach. I tried to have 2 of each type and then sort of fill out any spare spaces at the end. But, yeah. Some ones in there I never expected to have, like Lilithmon was a big surprise for me how good she was. But yeah, trying to think anything else that was interesting about that team. Not really. That reminds me though, I've been playing Senran Kagura at night.
You and your smutty game.
Do you know
Your
there's visual
smut
novel
game.
segments?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say something I never expected to say.
Mm-hmm.
The writing in this game is excellent. And dark. And troubling.
Mm-hmm.
And full of people who did not... Hey, let's talk in this game where if you use the right finishing move, you strip the person you're fighting of all their clothes and get a protracted cutscene. Let's talk about how a guy is a harsh teacher because the time he wasn't, someone died. Or let's talk about the girl obsessed with groping the other girls. Let's talk about how everyone she loved died. Do you see a pattern emerging?
Yeah.
But quite well written, in all honesty. I can kind of see why someone got one of the producers got kind of mad when someone basically just said it's tits on legs. And she said, did you play? And didn't play the game. And just said, oh, it's tits on legs. So like, I put a lot of effort into writing this shit.
But to be fair, Mikey, it is tits on legs. It's just tits on legs with an interesting dark story to it. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No. It is shameless about the tits on legs.
Yeah. But that's fine. No problem. Huh?
Yeah.
So, I don't have anything else to talk about. I know what Gundam I built this week that did carry over from last week. It was the Moon Gundam. That is a really good model kit.
I've never even heard of that one.
No, it's based off a manga, so you wouldn't have. It uses a lot of the design aesthetics from the Sazabi from Char's Counterattack. It's way better than it has any right to be for a high grade. It almost has a complete inner frame. It's got movable parts, so when you bend the knee joint kind of splits apart, and you can see the inner frame on the inside. It comes with a stand, which is also pretty nice. It has super high detail posability. It's really good. It's a bit more expensive than your average kind of HG kit, but the amount of interesting stuff it does for its build and the product it comes with by the end, like it doesn't have any stickers at all, and the only part it really needs it for are like it has. It's meant to have like a translucent green inner head. But you can't get that, so instead of using a black panel line, I got a green. What is it? Sharpie. I got a green Sharpie and just kind of, did the panel lining with that to give the same effect, and it came off fine. It's really good. I'd highly recommend the Moon Gundam to someone. As long as you like the aesthetic. I wasn't completely sold on it at first, but then I got into it and was like, yeah, okay. It's a bit different from usual Gundam, but yeah, I really like it. It's hella good kit.
Moon Gundam, let's see.
Moon Gundam.
Moon.
Yeah,
that's why it's called a Moon Gundam.
Yep, because it's got, you see those the moon shaped thing on its back. Those slide into like 8 separate pieces, and it's meant to control them psychically or through the machine. So,
is it Sailor Moon?
No.
Is it Sailor Moon if she was a Gundam?
No. As far as I know.
Lying to me.
Well, I mean, I haven't read the manga, so I could not really confirm or deny
Sailor
completely.
Moon Gundam.
You probably bring up the Noble Gundam.
There's so many. Well, no, this is just bringing up pictures of the Sailor Gundams.
Oh, okay.
which are real Gundams, by the way.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Mikey, I'm done for this week. I think you're done for this week. So where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish PLO. You can also email us on themoonbase2@gmail.com or send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Libsyn, Weebly, Patreon, places, things,
Yes.
anywhere really. Also, my God, there's so many pictures of the cast of Gundam Wing in Sailor Moon outfits. It's why is this a thing? These look officially done. These look like they're official.
Does Hero look happy?
No. But
okay, then he's accurate. Then that's how he should be.
I like the earrings. They suit him.
As long as he looks fucking miserable, they are keeping to his character.
This is from an article called "We Remember Love," from 2009. By Shonen in the mecha genre did not begin with Mobile Suit Gundam Wing.
Okay.
And bringing up a picture of 5-star stories, which I do need to watch at some point. But nothing began with Gundam Wing. It was, historically speaking, quite unoriginal.
Yeah, for the Gundam series at least, totally. Well, you can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, on YouTube as Corporate Commander TFW. As Mikey said, you can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. And if you want, you can head over to the Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Moonbase2. If you do $2 each month, you get the extended version from the files of Teletran 2, which this month we talk about comics we actually enjoyed. Spoilers. And we also talked about Ghostbusters, the entire miniseries.
Yep.
You get that a week early, and the Ghostbusters stuff as well. And you get the Moonbase Woo-Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things in more in-depth detail and whatnot. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to grab the podcast there. So, Mikey, thank you for joining me this week, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm currently looking for Gunpla sets to try.
Oh, I thought you were going to say more Sailor Moon Gundam stuff. I thought you were going to be stuck on that for a while.
I could get the Nobel Gundam, and I could get basically that's a Sailor Moon thing.
That is. It's a pretty good one too. It's a funny one.
Wow, there's so many versions.
Of what?
Everything.
Oh yeah. There's, if you need help picking a boy, I can help out. The main thing with Gundam is picking a design you like.
I'll probably go through, find a design I like, and then say, Andy, is this shit?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a terrible idea.
And let's be honest, I'll probably default to trying to find some version of Master Asia.
Yeah, well, in depending on what scale you'd want to go for, there's not many options, unfortunately, because the G Gundam's not loved. Yeah, no, he's still out there.
That's because there's no joy in the universe. Why?
If you get the HG one, he comes with Foon Psyche.
I know, but I'm still sitting here going like, why don't you people get it? I remember didn't you review that one?
Well, Master Asia, the Master Gundam. Yeah. Probably did.
Back in the days of It's a Gundam.
That's right. Before they started getting really antsy about me using the theme tune I used. They got really anal about it. No, they wouldn't. They'd keep pulling me down for sure. So until next week, everybody, we, meaning me and Mikey, will catch you next week.